Welcome to this video class. This is Pravina here to teach you Science Chapter 3 Class 7 Fiber to Fabric. In the last class, that is in the last video, I taught you about how the processing of wool is done, where do we get wool from, and how a woolen fabric is made. So today in this chapter, you are going to learn the production of the silk and what are all the processes involved and the life history of the silk moth. Yes, now let us move on to the lesson. So here the rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called as sericulture. So here the silkworms are reared to get the silk fiber. So that process of rearing the silkworm for obtaining the silk is called as sericulture. And the lifespan of the silkworm is only about 2 months. Before knowing the process of silk production, let us see the history of the life cycle of the silkworm. So the life cycle of the silkworm has 4 stages. Yes, see here, these are all the different stages of the silkworm. So the female moth, it lays the eggs. These eggs hatch out and it just comes out the larvae, which is also called as caterpillar or silkworm. So after laying of the eggs, these eggs hatches out, and the second stage of the silk moth is it converted to larva, or it is also called as silkworm or caterpillar. So these larvae, when it enters into the third stage, that which is called as pupa, and pupa is developed inside a fiber-like structure, and during that process the pupa, it starts spinning a white thread-like structure around its body. It just moves its head in the form of figure 8 and it starts spinning the fiber, and that stage where the pupa, it starts surrounding itself with the cocoon fiber is known as pupa. So the pupa develop inside the cocoon. So it is from the cocoon where we get the fiber from. And the next stage is the moth, it develops inside the pupa. So once the formation of the cocoon is completed, it just the moth breaks the cocoon and comes out. So the final stage that it develops into the adult silk moth. So all the different stages where the female moth lay the egg and it hatches out giving birth to the larvae, or it is also called as silkworm or caterpillar, and the next stage, in the growing stage, it feeds on the mulberry leaves and start developing a thread-like structure around its body, so that which is known as cocoon, and it is the cocoon, and it is from the cocoon where we extract the fiber from, and inside that the pupa, it develops into the moth. So once the cocoon formation is completed, the moth, it breaks down the cocoon and come out and it develops into an adult moth. So this is what the silkworm, it involves the different stages in its life cycle. So egg, larvae, also called as caterpillar or silkworm, it's converted to pupa and it develops into an adult moth. Now let us see what are all the processes that involves in the silk production. So here the eggs, after the adult female silk moth lays the eggs, they are kept in cold storage for about 6 weeks after they are laid. Then these eggs are baked in warm water and air dried, and then they are incubated until they hatch and become worms. So for hatching, nearly it takes 30 days. So after hatching of the egg, a tiny worm which is white in color and it is nearly about 5 to 6 millimeter long, it hatches out of an egg. So in the picture you can see a white worm like silkworm, right? So this is known as the silkworm, or also it is known as the caterpillar. Yes, no. So now these worms which are being hatched out from the egg, they are placed on the bamboo trays and they are covered with straw mats and a fine layer of selected finely chopped mulberry leaves. In the sense, the silkworm, it completely feeds on the mulberry leaves. They eat the mulberry leaves and start secreting the fiber. So the silkworm which is being hatched out from the egg are being placed on the bamboo tray and they are fed with mulberry leaves. So now the caterpillar, it starts feeding on the mulberry leaves. Yes, here in the picture you can see after consuming that mulberry, after once the silkworm is fed with the mulberry leaves, it stops feeding and starts spinning a cocoon around its body. So here after 25 to 30 days, the caterpillar, it stops eating and it attaches itself to a piece of string and begins to spin its cocoons. So this spinning of cocoon in one continuous thread, it takes about 8 days. In the sense, see, as these silkworm, they are laid on the bamboo trays and they are fed with the mulberry leaves. So after eating, after it has grown in size, it stops feeding on the mulberry leaves and it starts spinning a thread-like structure around its body. And this thread-like fiber, it is made up of a protein. And when it is exposed to air, it becomes hardened. So 1 kg of raw silk, it is produced from 5500 silkworms. So about 5500 silkworms are required to produce about 1 kg of raw silk. So this is how the process, or where the silk moth or the silkworm, it starts spinning the cocoon around its body. Yes. Now, so what is the process? In what way that it spins the fiber around its body? So here the silkworm, it swings its head from side to side in the form of figure 8. So during these movements of the head, it secretes a fiber which is made up of protein, and these hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. So later on the caterpillar, it completely covers itself by silk fibers and turns into pupa. So now this covering, white covering, is known as the cocoon. And here the cocoons which are being produced, they are of different structure, textures. Some might be the fibers which are produced from the cocoon, some might be very smooth, some might be rough. In the sense, it is based on the moth, the texture of the cocoon depends on. So here there are different types of moth which produces the different types of silk, and the texture of the different silks are also different. It is based on the moth that it spins. As such, you have seen that there are different types of silk fibers such as kosa silk or muga silk, tussar silk. So in such a way, there is a varied variety of silk fibers that are obtained from. It completely depends upon the silk moth that it spins. So after once we get the silk, or once the formation of the fiber around the silk moth, these cocoons are being processed out to extract the silk fiber from the cocoon. So here what is being done? A pile of cocoons is used for obtaining silk fibers. So here first the cocoons they are kept under the sun, or they are boiled or exposed to the steam, so that the silk fibers separate out by the process, and after this process we can take out the threads from the cocoon and we can use it use it as the silk. So this process is called as the reeling the silk. So here in this process, the cocoons are boiled even before the development of the moth inside the cocoon. But if the moth inside is developed, it just comes out breaking out the cocoon. So first the cocoons are stifled, in the sense they are boiled and the pupa are killed inside the cocoon, and after boiling where the process, the silk fibers are being separated out from the cocoon, and then the process of reeling is done. So in the picture you can see how the process of reeling is done. So reeling is done in special machines. Silk fibers are then spun into silk threads which are woven into silk cloth by weavers. As we all studied in 6th class, that weaving is the process where they use two types of yarns, one which runs horizontal and the other which runs parallel. So in the process of weaving we use two types of yarns to make a fabric. So here this is the process where the reeling is done on the machine. So the fiber that once it is being extracted out from the cocoon, it is reeled out on a special machines, and that fiber is converted, it is spun into silk threads. So later on it is woven into silk cloth. So that is all the process, how the life cycle of the silk moth, and how do we get the fiber, and how that fiber is converted into silk fabric. Now let us see how this silk was being discovered. So discovery of silk. So it is laid back silk fiber was discovered 5000 years back by the mankind. So according to an old Chinese legend, the Empress Si Langchi was asked by the Emperor Huang Ti to find out the cause for the damaged leaves of mulberry trees growing in their garden. So here the emperor named Huang Ti, in his garden he has few mulberry trees. So he found that the mulberry leaves are getting damaged. So that emperor, he asked the Empress Si Langchi to find out the reason for the damage of that leaves. So here the empress, she found that some white worms are eating up the mulberry leaves. As we have discussed in the earlier class, that the silkworm, it completely feeds on the mulberry leaves for the production of the cocoon. So here the empress, she found that the white worms started eating up the mulberry leaves, and also she noticed that they were spinning shiny cocoons around them. So in the picture, see, you can see the silkworm is spinning the cocoon around its body. So this was noticed by the empress. And accidentally, while she is having a cup of tea under the tree, she saw that a cocoon dropped in her cup of tea, and a tangle of delicate thread separated from the cocoon. See, when the cocoons are boiled, when they are stifled, you can see that the silk fibers getting separated from the cocoon. As she is drinking a hot cup of tea, she observed that the cocoon, when it dropped in her cup of tea, she observed a tangle of delicate threads which are separated from the cocoon. So this is how the invention of the silk fiber has taken place. So silk industry, first it began in China and was kept a closely guarded secret for hundreds of years. It was not known to anyone. Later on, traders and travelers, they introduced silk to other countries. So the route that they used to transport this silk is still, or the route they traveled is still called as the silk route. China holds top position with production of about 80% of the world's silk. India is also a leading producer, accounting for 10% of the world's production. This is how silk was discovered, and meet you in the next video. Thank you.